Every year, I participate in the Texas Draw and Hunt Lottery. I won a archery hunt on a wildlife refuge for deer and nilgai. I wasn't able to show up for the initial orientation and talked with the management, and they were able to let me do the orientation Saturday morning with my son. Some of the spots I scouted out were several miles from the truck, so I set up my bicycle so my son could ride along with me. We didn't see any deer first day or nilgai. The next morning, I took my son with me. We got there about an hour before our first light, and my son fell fast asleep. We had tried a different spot, and I saw a nice buck cross from one edge to another, and I didn't get the full draw into him until he was just getting back to the brush on the other side. Would have been about a 40-yard shot. I didn't see any deer on Sunday or Monday morning. Monday afternoon, I scouted out, saw a lot of nilgai sign, and I found a pond with several alligators. And Monday evening, I decided to bike from the southern side of the property, and keeping the wind in my face as we had a cold front come in and kind of use that north wind to nudge the deer between me and the other hunters north of me. I didn't see any deer until the last 20 minutes of shooting light left. A buck came out at about 18 yards, quartering hard away from me. He had no clue where I was, and I set my sight to 20 yards and made the best quartering shot I could. He ran about 80 yards and disappeared to the left. I didn't see any blood. I zigzagged for an hour looking for him. Still no blood, no arrow. I had to call the refuge if I was in the field after shooting hours, and they said if I wasn't on a blood trail, wait until the next day. After talking with other hunters about the shot I made, less than 20 yards, he ought to be piled up not too far away. That was probably the toughest night I had, thinking if I missed a deer. The next day I searched the grid pattern again, walked the deer trails. As I seemed to lose hope, I saw a nice rub, and I took a picture. A yard away, I noticed a nice buck dead, and my arrow. He wasn't but 120 yards from where I shot. He didn't bleed a drop of blood. His gut sealed up the wound channel, and he bled internally with a liver and lung shot. I dressed him out. Meat was still good. Got some help dragging him loaded on the bike. I hauled him about 2.5 miles to the truck. At the check station, he weighed 130 pounds dressed. This was my first archery buck. Definitely a big body deer for deer down this way. I went back out for the last hunt on the refuge and sat a different spot hoping for nilgai. I heard a branch break nearby, and I made a doe grunt call, and it definitely wasn't a deer. The nilgai ran off crashing through the brush. This was definitely a challenging hunt. I didn't use bait, scent, or scent control. I just kept the wind in my face and stayed on fresh deer sign. I butchered him out at home, half steaks and burger meat. I boiled and pressure washed and bleached the skull with a product called Aqua Silk. I think it came out great for my first Euro mount. My family is very grateful for the meat in the freezer, and he was a nice addition to my taxidermy collection this past Christmas. Thank you for watching.